Hello again. Dan Alasso, Making History. Quick update today. There have been a couple of questions lately about how I actually make these shared Obsidian vaults for my classes and for the book clubs. One of the cool things about Obsidian is that if you avoid loading up the vault with big media files, the markdown notes create really pretty small file sizes. And this facilitates shared storage in places like iCloud or OneDrive or Dropbox. I personally use Dropbox because I have my own personal account, so I don't have to use my university's OneDrive storage for the book club. But to be honest, even with my courses at Bemidji State, I still use my personal Dropbox because I really didn't care to try to figure out all the different layers of authentication that were going to be required in order for me to host a vault in a OneDrive folder. And also the potential differences between the experience that on-campus and remote users would have and all of that. I just didn't want to deal with it. So the Dropbox solution has been pretty simple so far. Although I just did get an email from Dropbox this week that says that the next version of the Macintosh operating system may complicate things a little bit. It doesn't sound like it's going to affect what I'm doing, and I sure hope it doesn't. But I'll let you know if we have any trouble. So the way I do it is I just create a new vault on my Dropbox, and then I invite users to join it. Everybody who becomes a user has full rights to modify anything in the vault and to add and delete files. As a collaborative community, I think that I can depend on users to abide by some basic guidelines we sort of worked out by consensus as a community in the previous book club. And the idea going forward would be that we could continue to discuss and change things if we wanted to as a group. I suppose that I, as the quote-unquote owner of the actual vault, have the final say, but so far I've managed to avoid needing to act as a dictator of any type of rules or anything like that, and hopefully that will continue. So to protect us against accidentally deleting files or causing irreparable damage to the vault, I do back it up very frequently. And this is really as simple as going into my Dropbox folder and duplicating the book club folder, and then dating the backup and dropping it into another folder filled with backups. So far, I have never needed to restore the vault from a backup in the book club or in any of my classes. Now, one thing that I should mention is the Obsidian vault that we're sharing really is not a multi-user app. But that said, it's not like we have millions of people hitting the vault simultaneously. Occasionally, when two people are editing the same note in the vault, what's called a conflicted copy will be created. In my role as kind of the vault's moderator, I usually resolve this by comparing the two instances in side-by-side windows and pruning one. I suppose that if it turned out there was a little bit of different content in each one, this would involve a little of cutting and pasting to combine the two. So far, this hasn't even been necessary. We have also run into several instances in the book club, and oftentimes this happens during Zoom sessions while we're discussing a particular topic, where someone has noticed that someone else is in a note editing it and has kind of backed out and waited until they had finished before getting back into it. Now, this isn't really quite as cool and shiny as an actual multi-user experience where everybody could be editing a shared document. And I've seen this work in Google Drive, and I've seen this work in Microsoft Teams and some other places. But aside from the technical coolness that this would demonstrate, I'm not really sure that it would contribute to our results substantially in the book club. I think that the biggest advantages of what we're doing with the shared vault in this context is, first, we can comment on the things that other people say in notes, and that develops the beginning of a conversation or a discussion. Second, we can add our own content and we can demo our workflows in our individuals' notes folders. And then the third feature that I think will be really valuable is that over time, the graph will show us what ideas are getting a lot of attention. So that wasn't particularly complicated because there really isn't all that much to it. But If people have questions about it, I'll certainly be happy to answer them. And I hope people found that a little bit interesting. So thanks very much for listening, and I will see you again very soon.